Steele, I am not going to ask how the hell you got out of there, but I am glad you did. She eyed her phone. She could hear an argument with what appeared to be a Hispanic man, and he was swearing at Steele in Spanish.
Oh, will you shut the fuck up for a second? God, some people. You throw them out of a building and they're so ungrateful.
Steele's words sounded as if they were meant for himself more than anyone else.
Yes, Sam, my new friend and I seem to be in a bit of a pickle. You couldn't drive around and get us out of a bit of a jam, could you? We're slightly buried under something. Possibly half the building.
Steele said with a strange tone of amusement at the situation. Puzzled, McCall got back in her car and restarted the engine. As she drove up to the building, she got back on the phone to Steele. Where are you? I can't see you anywhere. All I can see is a... You're in a friggin' dumpster, aren't you? McCall said. Her tone was full of anger. His awkward silence confirmed that, making her even more pissed. Steele, that thing is covered in half the building, and it's on fire, she yelled as she pulled up at a safe distance.
Oh, really? I hadn't noticed. Is there anything there you can use to get the building off the top of this thing?
Steele asked, trying to convey urgency. McCall looked around and just saw empty streets. Her fingers tightened around the steering wheel, and she put her foot on the accelerator. The wheels spun until they were smoking. Then she slammed the changer into drive, forcing the Mustang to launch forwards and towards the dumpster. At the last minute, she rolled out of the car, in time to see her beloved car smash into the heavy dumpster and propel it out of the way. The brickwork fell and buried her car. There was the sound of metal being thrust aside and loud scraping as the lid of the dumpster was thrown backwards. She saw two figures appear from the flames, Steele and another man who appeared to be tied to a broken chair. McCall, are you okay? Steele asked as she looked at him from her position on the ground, a small line of blood trickling from her forehead. She eyed him with a mix of anger and confusion. Am I okay? You just got blown out of a building and you're asking if I'm okay? McCall laughed, unsurprised at her partner's way of prioritizing a situation. Steele reached out and helped McCall to her feet and looked around, wondering why she had been on the ground in the first place. Then he saw the rear end of her Mustang just before flames took it in a massive fireball. Oh, shit, Sam. Your car. You used your car! They stood for a while, all three of them, as they watched the burning hell. In the distance, fire engine sirens filled the empty street. They stood there silent as if to mourn the loss of an old friend.